thank to.
Let me tell you something in between. Ladies and gentlemen, hello, first of all, and Shalom Aleichem. This Roman Greenberg, the heavyweight champion of Israel, is actually the son of my brother. So this is my nephew. But not only the Israeli champion, he is the vice champion of the world. So he is really a heavyweight champion. But his name is written with double E, so Greenberg, and my name, Greenberg, just with an I.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Welcome, Roman Greenberg. This Roman Greenberg.
Yeah.
And I must tell you that Roman is certainly a man of all talents. But before I ask you some questions, Roman, I just want to just say that this group that gets together once a week on Zoom is the sequel of what we used to have before at Sandringham Gardens. Sandringham Gardens is the home of our senior citizens, and I was privileged for about I don't know, about 15 years or so to go always to the Kiddush on Shabbat morning, and one of the things that they always asked me to do was to sing songs, and I sang songs in Yiddish like "Vunemt men a bissel mazel." I must have sang that 50 times. Then, of course, the pandemic came and we started this Thursday night session, and Baruch Hashem, since April when we started, we haven't missed one pre-Shabbat session. And now we've got also right here we've got two people who are in Israel. Steve, if you have a look at Steve, he's in Ranana, and Les Glassman is in Yerushalayim, and Roman Greenberg is in Vienna. And we welcome you to South Africa, Roman. We welcome you with the warmth of South Africa. Right now, our temperature is about 25 degrees, and yours is -7. So that is certainly warmth. So I know a little bit about you because of the various conversations that I've got, but I'd like maybe we can spend just 3 or 4 minutes talking as to where you were born, how come you speak this Yiddish, which is so different to the Yiddish that is spoken in South Africa, because we are all Litvakis, yeah, and you are a Bessarabian, I believe, and then I will play one video, which actually that one called Medley, which actually introduces you very much. Okay. So, Roman, tell him. So you are.
Well, I was born in Belz, in the famous Shtetale Belz. Maybe you know the song. Oy, 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 Belz, mein Shtetale Belz. This is actually the song about the city I was born. I was born in the family of musicians. My mother used to play the piano and to teach music. My father was a real klezmer musician, so it means he used to play on weddings, bar mitzvahs, and such events. So I learned the Yiddish songs actually from my parents. And one day, it was my profession.
But Roman, you are a young man, so
really?
You must have lived. you must have lived after the Milchama.
Yeah, sure.
Did you? So you were in Belz till
72.
What? Oh wow! But now in 72, Bessarabia as a country didn't exist anymore.
No, not anymore. It was Moldavian Republic, a part of the Soviet Union. But my parents both were born in the same Belz, but it used to be Romania before. So they both were born in Romania as children. It became Soviet Union, and my grandmother used to live together with us, but she didn't speak Russian at all. So my parents used to speak Yiddish at home because of my grandmother, and we children we just learned Yiddish. It was a real mamelution because it was our first language that we heard at home.
Right. Mamelution. You see,
Yes,
here
yes.
in South Africa, they would call it mameloshen.
Of course, I know all the differences, but when I'm on stage, I try to perform in the so-called Klal Yiddish. It means the standard Yiddish, the literature Yiddish. But when I'm just talking, sometimes I fall into the Bessarabian dialect, of course. Yeah.
All right. So now I know that you have an orchestra and you have a trio. You're also the choir master of the Vienna Jewish Choir, and you also run this fantastic workshop that I had the privilege of attending 2 sessions as a visitor. But I've got here a YouTube that introduces you and the various facets of you. So I am going to try and share the screen, and I must make sure that I click.
Ich lieb Konzert, spiel zum Tanz. Auch lieb Applaus, der liebt der Glanz. Was macht der Klezmer? Macht Musik. Und mit seinem Spiel bringt einfach so viel. Ich bin ein Singer.
Corona, das sind Takitsures, a jeder hackt in Scheinig, in Drehen bei sich allein. Corona, oi Corona, mit darf es auf Kapures, ab wie man seht sich neu gesehen, oi ist das Leben schön.
Schwitterle mit Gleckerle. Wie ein Gespann, 2 Pferdelach. 4 mit Kicher, 4 zu ihr, mein Geliebte wart auf mir. Schlitterle mit Gleckerle, 2. Schlitterle, mein Schlitterle, 4 mich zu mein Gitterle. Sani tu surgale.
Zu mir ist gekommen a Cousine, und schön gekommen ist sie Berlin. Die Bäckerle wie heute von der Ranz, und die Füße daraus beten sich zum Tanz. Bäckerle wie heute von der Ranz, und die Füße daraus beten sich zum Tanz. Five Elementals, dann wird's
Wonderful there, Roman. That's really, you're a man of many facets. And I noticed that you call one a klezmer orchestra. And I was fascinated. My wife and I were in, about 3 years ago, we were in Krakow. And there was a klezmer song festival going on. And what fascinated me the most, which is all Jewish music, but all the people, all the followers of this klezmer festival were non-Jewish. Can you explain that to us? We don't know much about it.
You don't know much about it. Well, in the United States as well as in Europe, there's a big revival of Jewish music, especially Eastern European Jewish music, which is klezmer instrumental music and Yiddish song music. Of course, why? For, I would say, 40 years, there was almost no Jewish music heard in the public. When we started to play in the late 70s Yiddish songs in Vienna, we were afraid to make open concerts, because it was just not even 30 years after the end of the war. We were afraid of Nazis and all the stuff. But in Germany, it started earlier with the revival. I remember very well in 1981, I played a Yiddish concert in Munich where 2,000 people came to this concert, and maybe there were 100 Jews among them, and all the others are non-Jewish people. It was something so special and something so new for them to hear Yiddish music. They didn't know it. They started to realize that there was a culture. There used to be a culture before the war, a special culture of Yiddish music, Yiddish theater, Yiddish plays. And now we have a big revival for, let's say, 40 years, maybe 45 years. People, non-Jews, they're coming to Yiddish productions, theater productions, to concerts. They buy Yiddish CDs. And the best part is that non-Jews start to learn Yiddish language. They go to evening schools and courses and start to study Yiddish language. It's something incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. When we were in Krakow that time, there is that little square. What is it called? The Klizmir, there where you have the entrance to the old Jewish cemetery,
Yeah.
where the Ramo is in Krakow, and they have Jewish culture tours, and there's lots of restaurants with Hebrew type of fonts written, and not one of them is kosher.
It's business after all.
It's business.
Yeah,
I know.
There are 10,000s of tourists coming each and every year to Krakow, to this festival. They bring a lot of money. They spend a lot of money. It's business.
I noticed that in not one concert or video have I seen you without your kippah. You wear your kippah always.
Yes, because when I'm on stage, it's at least one or two songs I sing. I sing a prayer, and when I address my music to the audience, this is one part of my show. But sometimes I address my inner words, my neshume, my soul. I address towards Hashem. So that's why I always wear a kippah on the stage.
Now, first of all, I want to say to all the participants, anybody who wants to ask a question, you can actually type it in the chat, or if you want to ask it verbally, switch on your microphone. Although I have muted everybody, I've done it.
How is the life in
Yeah.
for a Jew?
Yeah. I'm going to ask him that. Now,
Kurt is very
I've got my
pro-Jewish.
boss giving me instructions of what to ask you. So my wife wants to know, what is life like for a Yid in Vienna in these days?
Not different as it used to be for me. I will tell you the truth. To live as a Jew in the Soviet Union. The only difference is that I can open my mouth and speak and say and tell everything free, what I wasn't allowed to do in the Soviet Union. But I used to live with my family in Israel. So I lived there for almost 3 years, and the Israelis used to call me Russia Boina. They didn't, I wasn't a Jew I was a Russian for them because I came from from Soviet Union. Well, and now in Vienna, I am a public person. So to me, especially for me, it's not difficult to be a Jew. It's even, I'm very proud about it, and I say it publicly. So, but some other people, they may face some difficulties. Of course, sometimes we had not so nice happenings. For example, a rabbi was beaten on the street by a drunk young man. It's something, it can happen. But maybe we had a terror attack just a few months ago, but it wasn't against Jews. It happened in the street where the main synagogue building is located, but it was not against the Jews, not the Jewish people, but against everybody who was in the surrounding. He shooted, just across the street to the restaurants.
Well, this morning actually, Roman and I were on Chai FM on the Yiddish program, and we were talking about that workshop, the Zingerai, and one of the questions that came through was because I think you said there are 30 participants or more, or 30 were in that video only, but there are more than 30 in the workshop.
Well, it's quite different. Sometimes there are more, sometimes less. But if you would like, I can do a Zingerai with you now, right now. I'm going to sing, and you sing with me. The very famous song. Wo nimmt men a bissele Masel, wo nimmt men a bissele Glück. Das Räderle soll sich schön drehen, und bringen mein Masel zurück. Die Welt euch ist doch beschaffen, für alle Menschen gleich. Heu wo nehmt men a bissele Chutsch, nur a bissele Masel, a bissele Glück. Heu wo nehmt men a bissele Chutsch, nur a bissele Masel, a bissele Glück. A Mensch darf haben a Masel, du siehst doch schon lang festgestellt, als du hast a bissele Masel, gehört dir die ganze Welt, und die Welt, sie ist doch beschaffen, für alle Menschen gleich. Hoi wo nehmt men a bissele Chutschig, a bissele Masel, a bissele Glück. Hoi wo nehmt men a bissele Chutsch, nur a bissele Masel, a bissele Glück. Masel, a bissele Glück. Masel, a bissele Glück.
Wow, that was a treat. Roman, I didn't ask you. You've surprised me. You've given me, when one gets something that one doesn't ask for, it means so much more, because we spoke about you singing live and you said, listen, on Zoom, it doesn't work well because of the delays of the notes, but it came through absolutely perfectly.
Great.
So thank you so much. One of the things that I want to say to everybody that you have done, which to me is absolutely fantastic, is when you get your participants on the Zingerai and you on that workshop, and you get them all from home, because of the pandemic, everybody sings and they send you a video, and to put them together so that their lips move to the music, I don't know how you do it. It must have been, I don't know what's the word to say, but I'm going to play the song I have played it before, okay, my rabbi sending me various messages. Yeah, the young guy, this young guy, Jonathan Fox, that's our rabbi there.
Yes.
Okay, he's
Shalom, shalom.
he's asking me, what is your Hebrew name? He's asked me for something else, which I will tell you in a moment.
My Hebrew name is Rachmiel Chaim.
Rachmiel.
Rachmiel Chaim.
Rachmiel Chaim. And you know my Hebrew name, Rabbi Johnny? You remember it? I'm Ben Rachmiel. I'm Azriel Ben Rachmiel. Let me just so Roman.
Arnold, I want to interrupt you for 1 second.
Yes.
I just want to tell Roman, and everybody knows this, that we have another excellent Yiddish singer on this group. And
Who's that?
His name is Arnold Garber. And as he mentioned, he sings for us very, very often, every Shabbos. And I'd like to invite Arnold to sing one of his favorite Yiddish songs, Beigelach, in front of our esteemed guest today and for all of us. So Arnold, if you don't mind.
For me to sing in front of Roman is, I don't know. I feel inhibited, but I will try. Roman, if I can take up a moment of your time. It's a song that I must have sung at Sandringham Gardens maybe 300 times. And it goes like this. Come by my begalach, my fresh shot begalach. They feel so good and warm and taste so sweet. Come feast your egalach on meine begalach. The kind I make and sell just can't be beaten. So come and run and see what we call bublichki. We eat them filled or plain or toasted brown. So shalom aleichem, come make a meal of them and spread the words and news around the town. I feed my family on wholesome bublichki. Unkenan hore, you should see them grow. My grown-up kinderlach, un little einiklach, like strong and sturdy trees all in a row. It's 40 years or more, I never can keep score, that I have kneaded, baked, and peddled round. For your Gesundheit's sake, an honest living make. The only wealth is health, this I have found. Though others riches seek, I'm simple, mild, and meek. My muzzle brings me neither jewels nor gold. My treasures, as you see, are trays of bublichki. I'm satisfied enough when they are sold. So buy a roll or bun, buy 3 or 2 or 1, and come and sing with me this cheerful song. Come feast your egalach on meine begalach. Enjoy the days and years that roll along. Come feast your egalach on meine begalach. Enjoy the days and years that roll along. Roman, I'm sure you know the song Bublichki, huh?
You are great. You are really great. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't know it.
Thank you, thank you. Well, you know, for Sandringham Gardens, I'm a good singer.
I'm going to come to you and we'll perform together.
Oh boy. All right.
I cannot wait for that day. For the two of you to sing together at Sandringham Gardens. I cannot wait.
Well, I cannot wait for Roman to visit us in South Africa. And not only Roman teaches Yiddish, he also teaches technology, and I'm supposed to be such a technology fundi because he's just taught me, he sent me a message whilst we were playing that I mustn't play the YouTubes directly from the YouTube link. I must download the video file first, and then the quality of the sound. I always wonder why the quality of the sound. I don't exactly know how to download a video from YouTube, but I will certainly find out. Roman, I'm going to play one more. That's the one that brought your name to South Africa. But the quality, is it playable or should I rather leave it for another time? I wanted to play Soll mir sein gesinnt.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Okay. All right. So let me get it. Everybody, you know, we are in the midst of this terrible disaster called the coronavirus, and you're a real Yid, because a Yid takes a difficult situation and turns it into a funny situation, into a happy situation. And tonight is Rosh Chodesh Adar, which is the month of happiness. We're going to have the drosha by the rabbi in a few moments, but let's talk this one, which really everybody knows this one. Let me share the screen and share.
Ein Mensch darf oben Masel, das ist doch festgestellt. Für einen ist das Liebschaft, für andere das Geld. A dritter weiß auf Ade, man darf noch sein gesinnt. Noch wo steht man, als Corona ist mit erzählt. Es hilft dir nicht kein Liebschaft, und es hilft dir nicht kein Geld. Corona hat sich ausgebreitet auf der ganzen Welt. Es können dir nur helfen, deine gute Freund. Wart nicht sie bis morgen, gewagt klingt unheim. Corona, Corona, das seinen Tage zures, es sitzt da jeder einer, in drehen bei sich allein. Corona, oi Corona, mit darf es auf Kapures, ab wie man seht sich morgen sind, ist das Leben schön. Einer helft dem Zweiten, der Zweiter helft dem Dritten, der Dritte helft sein Bobbe und die Bobbe dem Machitten. A Jinge helft an Alten und bringt ihm alles in Stieb. Alle sind gute Freund und alle haben sich lieb. Man kann mich schiege werden, sie sehr besser rein. Noch es kommen nicht die Kinder, und sie kommen nicht die Freund. Me geht sich waschen Hand, all netilat Yadayim. Corona soll ins Übergehen wie Makis in Mitzrayim. Corona, Corona, das sind im Takizures. A jeder hackt in Scheinig, in drehen bei sich allein. Corona, oi Corona, mit darf es auf Kapures.
Ora, China tem que
Corona, oi Corona. Es wird die Zeit noch geben. Jeder wird noch tanzen und springen wie ein Kind. Wir wollen alle Hulien und singen Insellieder. Ab wie man sieht sich, liebe Freund, Lohner sein Gesind. Ab wie man sieht sich, liebe Freund, Lohner sein Gesind.
Fantastic. Corona, I just wanted to say, Rabbi, this is maybe a real issue that you would be very interested, because somebody translated the one verse incorrectly, and Roman this morning corrected us to say that he didn't wish the Makkos on Mitzrayim, but that it should bypass. Am I right, Roman?
Exactly. It should bypass our houses. Exactly like the plagues passed our houses in Mitzrayim. That's what was the meaning of this song.
It's wonderful, wonderful. Roman, I've taken up my allotted time with you. In fact, I said only half an hour, and we are on 40 minutes already. And so I just want to say, thank you so much. And I know that I'm not a good sound operator, but I've learned something today. I will do it properly next time around. Okay. So I would like to, finish off with another video of yours. And after that, I'll say to the rest that we are still going to have the Rabbi's Drosha and the report from Israel. But I want to, as I say, thank you so much. What an honor to have you in our little group. And I would just want to say also that, at Sandringham Gardens, unfortunately, most of the residents are in lockdown, and most of the residents don't have Wi-Fi in their rooms. But they do go out to the lounge on different time slots, some at 12 o'clock, some at 12:30. And so the number of views of the recording is very high. I think the last week we had something like 50 views, 50 different people looked at the recording. So everybody, I speak on behalf of everybody to say that everybody is really so grateful that you were able to join us. Now I'm going to, let me just one last time.
Arnold, 50 people will watch this video? So
at least 50.
At least. So give them the address of my office. They should order my CDs. Well, I mean.
Okay. I will definitely do that.
No,
so,
quería hablar el señor.
Okay. Roman, before we ring off, anything else you want to say?
Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure. It was an honor. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Let me play one more.
Zereder soll sich schön bringen und bringen mein Masel zurück. Die Welt, sie ist noch verschaffen, Vater alle Menschen gleich. Weil wir nennt mir die Zeit, Masel, hab ich alle geliebt.
You're welcome to stay, but no need for you to stay for the daughter.
Masel, hab ich alle geliebt. Tumbala, 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 like, tumbala, 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 like, tumbala, like, spielbala, like, tumbala, like, freilich soll sein, tumbala, like, spielbala, like, tumbala, like, freilich soll sein. Zu mir ist gekommen eine Cousine, schön wie Gott ist sie weggeblieben. Die Bäckerle wie heute von der Herz, und die Füße aus Becken sich zum Tanz. Bäckerle wie heute von der Herz, und die Füße aus Becken sich zum Tanzen. Nicht gegangen ist sie noch gesprungen, und nicht gerät sie hat dann noch gesungen. Freilich lustig ist die Welt der Mine, und das sag ich wen ist mein Cousine. Freilich lustig ist die Welt der Mine, und das sag ich wen ist mein Cousine. Chili, chili bom, chili bom 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 bom, chili, chili bom, chili bom, chili bom bom. This is a revenue gegangen in der Welt, mit der Rolle und der Größe noch gibt's noch Regen. Schreiben wir das nur für meine Reden, noch gibt's noch Wasser, sind auch das Ziel, und wir müssen Wälzer bis an Nase. Chili, 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 bom, 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 chili, 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 Hast du Leben singt, singen alle Chassiden, singen alle Chassiden. Bye, 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 singen alle Chassiden. Bye, 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 singen alle Chassiden. Jetzt wisst ihr, wie das geht, oder? Also pass auf. Hast du getanzt? Hast du getanzt? Tanzen alle Chassiden. Bye, 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 tanzen alle Chassiden. Bye, 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 tanzen alle Chassiden. Alpha, Nadia, Alpha, Nadia, Alpha, Nadia, Alpha, Nadia, Alpha, Nadia, Alpha, Nadia,
All right. Anyway, that was good. I see Roman is gone.
No,
I
no,
hope,
I'm here. I'm still here.
Oh, you're still here. You're still
Still
here.
here. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see. Thank you, Roman. I actually heard how bad the sound is, and I will certainly have it fixed, do it properly next time. Thank you for the technology lesson. All right. Thank you, Roman.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay, Roman, but you don't have to stay because sometimes, this rabbi actually talks very short. So, Rabbi Johnny, Rabbi Fox, over to you. We can't move into Shabbos and into the new month of Adar without the drosha.
Thank you very much again to both of you, Arnold, for your beautiful rendition of Begelach as usual, and to Roman for treating us to your beautiful music and your very interesting life story. Thank you. I'm going to be very quick tonight because the hour is late, and I want to say, Misha Nichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha. As Arnold said, we are entering Rosh, literally, as this Zoom is taking place, we're literally entering into Adar, Rosh Chodesh Adar. And we know that the Talmud tells us when we enter Adar, we should be Marbin Besimcha, we should increase our joy. The question is, how do we increase our joy? Yes, it is a beautiful time approaching Purim, approaching Pesach, but what do we do actively to increase our joy? So if we look at the way that we can work out what to do to increase our joy is to look at what are we not allowed to do in the time of Avelus, in the time of mourning, when we have to decrease our joy. And one of the main things that the rabbis tell us not to do during that time is to play music. Because music makes a person happy. Music does something to the neshama and it makes the person really, really happy. And therefore, one of the things that a person is not allowed to do during Avelus or during mourning is play music. And we know during the year when we have those periods of mourning, we miss the music so much. And it really upsets us not to be able to listen to the music for a week or 2 or 3 weeks. And therefore, going into Adar, the most appropriate way we can enter Adar is listening to music. So we literally fulfill this mitzvah tonight of Misha Nichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha. One of the best ways to increase our simcha is to listen to music. And just to say to you, Roman, and to Arnold and everyone else who treats us with their music, is that it's such a mitzvah. You have to realize that entertaining people is such a mitzvah, because to make people happy is the greatest mitzvah you can do. You know, we can give charity to people and help them in other ways, but playing music for them lifts them internally, lifts the spirit, lifts the neshama. So shkayach to you, and thank you for lifting us, lifting our neshamas into the month of Adar, and may we go, Michael El Chayil, from strength to strength. From this level of simcha, we should just continue through Purim and Pesach, more and more simcha, and please God, with vaccines and cures, we'll just go from simcha to simcha to simcha.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. And Roman, every week we have our report from Israel, from Jerusalem, and Les Glassman is sitting there waiting. The hour is late, so it will necessarily have to be a short one, Les. Okay. But there's so much happening in Israel. By the way, Roman, I just wanted to tell you that one of the reasons why quite a few of our regulars, they've told me that they can't join tonight, but they want to watch the video, is because the state president of South Africa is speaking right now, the so-called State of the Nation address. The State of the Nation address he's speaking, I'm not sure he's finished already, but he was certainly a little while ago. I mean, my uncle Robbie, for example, who is a regular, I have an uncle who was born in Lite and is 98 years old. Baruch Hashem, very, very good. And he phoned me today to say, listen, I'm not joining you tonight because I'm listening to the president. And Aubrey Lampert, for example, the same, and so forth. But they told me all, please record it and send us the recording. So, Liz, I'm going to hand over to you to finish off our session.
Okay. So thank you so much. And although I'm in Avelus for this year, the passing of my dear mother, so I had the earphones on, so I couldn't hear the music, but I saw your faces and I saw how happy everybody was. And thank God we're going to have this on video, on YouTube. So in a year's time, I'll be watching this. And it will be and I look forward to it. So I just want to mention something about Avelus. What you were speaking about, Rav, and it's very, very pertinent. So Griafe Cashman, she's a reporter for the Jerusalem Post. She writes Grapevine, and she related a story that really resonates with me. So before the COVID, before the pandemic, there was Chaim. He went to a wedding and he came home and he was just about to go to sleep. It was 3 a.m, and he realized that he hadn't said Kaddish for his mother, and he was the only son. So he didn't know what to do. So he ran down to his shtibel, and the shtibel was open, but there was no one there, and he needed a minyan. So he phoned the taxi rank closest to him, and he said, please, can you send over some taxi drivers? And they said, they've only got 3. So he said, okay, send them over. Phoned another taxi rank, they could send over 4, and another one could send over 2. That would make 9, and with him, he'd have a minyan. They all came to the shtibel thinking that it's a wedding, they're going to collect clients to take them home from a wedding. Anyway, they realized it's just a shtibel, there's no one there. He asked them all to keep their meters on and to come into the shtibel, and he could daven Mari. And he did that, and he said, please keep your meters on. They daven Mari, he said Kaddish. Afterwards, he came outside. He went to each of the taxi drivers. He said, how much, did it come to? They looked at the meters. It was 100 shekels or whatever each one. So he took out his wallet to pay them. And then each one, without exception, said, no, we don't want any money. You've given us the great zchut to do a mitzvah that you could say Kaddish for your mother. And this story, it really resonated with me because I read this quite a few months ago. And now that I'm saying Kaddish and I'm going to different shuls, and Baruch Hashem, there are many shuls in Israel with different minyanim, it really resonated with me. But this story could only happen in Israel. So we are a very special nation. And as I mentioned, we are the vaccination nation. Ani, I'm going to be short, but I'll just give you a few numbers. Yesterday, there were 138,000 Israelis that were vaccinated. And now they've opened it up to those over 16, Palestinian workers, and the migrants and asylum seekers can also receive the vaccine. 40% of all Israelis have received the first dose, and 25 have received both shots of the vaccine. So this is really, really, we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'll just mention there was in the Jerusalem Chronicle, a world exclusive expose. It's an amazing story how they exposed that the Iranian nuclear scientist, the top scientist, Moshe Fakhrizadeh, he was killed by the Mossad. And they used a 1-ton remote gun that was smuggled into Iran over 8 months with Israeli and Iranian agents on the ground. It's just unbelievable. So we can realize that Baruch Hashem is looking after Israel, but we also have the Mossad. We have to do for ourselves, and we have the most amazing. Look what they did. It's incredible. But with all the good news, unfortunately, there's a bit of sad news. The ICC, the International Criminal Court, have handed down a ruling where they've authorized the investigation into war crimes against Israel with and Hamas. That's meaningless. With the 2014 Gaza war. This is going to be very reminiscent of the infamous Goldstone report. But on the good side, and I don't know if Roman's listening, Austria, together with USA, Canada, Australia, Germany, Hungary, the Czech Republic, Brazil, and Uganda have all voted against this. So we've got friends out there. And Arnie, just the last thing for our viewers, this is mouth-watering breaking news. Israel has unveiled the very first lab-grown full-size steak that is grown from natural animal cells. And they can do it in any texture, flavor, and form. So I want to wish you all a Chodesh Tov, and thank you so much, and just all the very best, and watch the space. This very first breaking news of this lab-grown steak made out of animal cells is opening up tremendous opportunities. What's going to happen with kashrut? It's just amazing what's coming out of Israel.
Does that mean the end of the job for a mashgiach? Eh?
Not only that, what about the shochdin? What about? It's just it's unbelievable. It's something breaking news.
All right, thank you once again, Roman. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Chodesh Tov and Shabbat Shalom. And above all, we should be healthy. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. You can all unmute and wish you Shabbos. Bye-bye.
Jeff, sorry we didn't get...
Sorry, I want to just give a special welcome to my namesake, Arnold Orkin. Nice to see you here, Arnold, for the first time. I'm not sure you can hear me.
Honor to be here. Thank you very much. God bless everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. To Jafar, a Kohen Gadol. A Kohen Gadol.
Wonderful to see you.
My neighbor.
It was so lovely to be with you. It was such a beautiful evening. Beautiful.
Shabbos. Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Chodesh Tov.